Hey everybody! Welcome to my very first ever reading sprints. I'm very excited. And here I have Lauren with me. We're doing, oh, this way. Haha. We're doing some reading sprints for the Tarot Readathon. Please put in the chat what you guys are reading, what card you're reading it for, or if you're not participating in the Readathon. Welcome. We're happy to have you. So what are you reading tonight, Lauren?
I am kind of deciding a little bit because I have I'm like in the middle of a few things. Summer feels super chaotic. So I'm either going to I gotta go back into my cards because I pulled out a lot. And I'm either going to be reading a sequel, because that's what one of the cards says, to read the sequel for a book you've already started a series, or sticking with vampires but doing like a short story collection. And this is like YA. So I'm still going to figure it out in this first sprint. But what about yourself?
That one's actually on my list, that vampire
This
short
one?
story collection. Yeah, I think I saw somebody posting about it at some point and added it to my list a million years ago. But I am also trying to decide between two. So I had a card for magical realism. So I was thinking of the sequel to The City We Became, which is The World We Make. Definitely a big contender for magical realism, and always feels good to finish a series.
Yes.
The other is starting a series. And I can't even remember which one I was picking this for because this is, you see it all over BookTube. It was the World card. And it's
Yes.
The Last Watch by J.S. Dews, which I feel like is kind of cheating because I see it all over exactly three people's Instagrams, but I get it a lot. So if I feel very personally inundated with it. So I would like to read it.
And what card would that be for?
This would be for the World. This was everybody's talking about it on Bookstub, BookTube.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And like exactly three people are talking about it very loudly and very often on my feed.
That's
One of
radar.
them
Yeah, that's
might be
on your
the
radar.
author. But so if you have thoughts on which ones we should read, let us know. Laura's here and was first. Hi, Laura. And hey, Jill. And Jenna, well, we're excited you can be here for a little bit of it, even if you can't be here for long. And I don't know that I'm going super late tonight, but I had some free time after my book club tonight and thought, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Deja. She's going to be hanging out in the chat with us tonight. And Sarah's got her show tonight. She's got her stories. But I appreciate you stopping in and saying hi. Oh, see, I haven't read any Abby Jimenez yet. Have you?
No, neither have I. What genre is this book? Do you know?
Most of her stuff is usually romance, right? Or am I crazy?
Oh, you'd know better than
Like
me. I don't really read too much
part of your
romance.
world is Abby Jimenez, if I'm remembering correctly. I think Jenna might be living her romance era.
Part of your world, Little Mermaid comes up.
Yeah. It looks like it should be a Little Mermaid retelling, but it's not.
That is the author, though. You are correct.
See, and I pulled cards, Jenna, and I'm mood reading my way through the cards. I didn't set a firm TBR, but I did pull cards to guide my mood reading through everything.
Same.
Watching some YouTube right now, hoping to start Blacktop Wasteland. Is that the essay Cross? The guy who wrote Razorblade Tears. I don't know his name. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. That's
It is an essay though, right?
Mm-hmm.
SAC something. Also, Deja, you're crushing it. 8th book of the month already.
This has been, I have a book hangover from last month where I read double what I typically do. So this month I'm like, wait, because I was looking at my calendar trying to like plan content and just like, I had a lot of creative ideation today. And I realized like this month is like almost over, or maybe that's just me. I don't know. It's slipping through my fingers.
It really is. But somehow we're only in the second week-ish, like moving into our third week. But it feels like it's been a lifetime somehow. Time is weird this year. Hey, Haley. And a special thanks to Deja. A special hi. What are you reading, Haley? Vanessa repping Team Pentacles. Thank you, Jenna. Jenna was so sweet. She was like, if you want to do sprints and you don't want to be alone, I'll join. Just tell me when.
So sweet.
Back
Yes.
like a month or two ago. And then the readathon happened. And I was like, well, this makes a good sense to try to do my first sprints during the readathon.
Yeah, it took a readathon for me to do my first sprints too. Team Cups!
Team Pentacles. Last time I checked, we had one more team member on you from.
Love it.
Keep trading off. Who has the most team members? I was not reading tonight. Just here for the vibes. I love it.
Love it.
So you were participating, but now another book is calling your name. Can you not fit it into a prompt card? Maybe keep drawing cards until you can fit it in.
A little loophole.
I mean, nobody said you had to do all of your cards. I'm reading A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. This is what you were reading on Sarah's earlier today, right? Teenage love. That was my last book, was a teenage love story. Or like a young adult. Because our significator this week was a book about a book. So I read Fangirl by Rainbow Roll, which is a girl who's going to college for her freshman year, and she's so obsessed with a Harry Potter-like book series that she is a prolific fan fiction author of this book series, and like her sort of coming of age, gaining independence, learning about herself, while also juggling this hobby that people judge her for.
100% fits the prompt. Our significator card was somebody that's like going through something, I think. Like going through like a big change, I want to say. Anybody in Cups, correct me if I'm wrong. But I was reading Cackle by Rachel Harrison, and that fits perfectly. Like it's all about healing from a breakup and moving on. So like, oh, this is perfect. So I was able to do my first significator read.
See, I used this for that card that I pulled in my TBR.
Oh, it's also that growth kind of
like that, like change of life.
Yes.
Moment of yeah. Hilarious. Hey, Caitlin. Reading +1 for the Fool. And the weekly challenge. Get the double points. Which one is the Fool again?
Ooh.
I feel like I know it.
I'll look it up. Like maybe like a new beginning, like that kind of thing, I want to say.
Yeah.
So The Fool is read a book by a new to you author.
Oh, that's a nice one. That's a real convenient one. Like, because I feel like you could stretch that to be anything you want it to be.
Oh, yeah. It's like just you've never read them before. And so it could be like somebody you really want to read. Yeah, there's something like I feel like unless you're super well read, you're not going to have too many.
Yeah. Or like all you're trying to do this month is close out series that you've already started. Yeah. That would be the only thing. How are you liking it, Vanessa? Hey, Maddie. Do you find it weird reading about teenagers?
I know.
It is a little pearl clutching. I was a little grateful mine was a fade to black for that reason, because I'm getting closer and closer to 40, and that's just a lot. I should finish Other Birds tonight, but I have to read it with my eyes, and I have lots of audio calling to me. Yeah, sometimes it's inconvenient when you have to read something with your eyes.
Oh yeah, the lure of an audiobook, absolutely.
So what are the things on audio calling to you, Jill? Now I'm curious. Abby's of Romance. What did I read for my book club earlier today? So I have where did it go? Oh, right here. I have a book club that we do Zoom with a bunch of friends, and we meet once a week. And so we read one book over the month and talk about it by section. And right now we are reading Her Majesty's Royal Coven, and we're halfway through this one. And the second book in this trilogy is coming out at the end of this month, I think. So convenient timing. Yeah, but it's set in modern day England. Only women have a lot of true magic. There's a lot in here about the colonization of magic because white people stole magic. There's a person who's coming into play who has great power and not a lot of control. It's got a lot of sort of LGBTQ and trans rep in it, which has been really interesting.
That sounds
I'm
like an
having a good time
amazing
so far.
book.
Yeah, I'm
That sounds
having a good time
amazing.
so far. And the thing that I'm really liking about this is that Juno, who's the author of this, there are 4 different perspectives that we get from, and each one feels distinct when you're reading their sections, which is really neat because you don't always see that clear of a voice, especially when you're juggling 4 narrators. So
Same.
really having a good time with it.
I was thinking
I
in my head
actually
too as
picked
you were
this up
saying
in a
that.
blind date with a book at my local bookstore too.
I've done that one time from Barnes and Noble, and I wish they were more because I have one bookstore that does used books, and they have and there's some new, actually mostly new,
Yeah.
a little bit of used, and they do blind book, but it's always like a romance or a fantasy, and they never have like a horror option. So I'm like, but one time
See,
Barnes
mine
had it.
does. See,
I
they did
know,
this
jealous.
for Valentine's. They did a big Galentine's Day thing on the 13th. And they had nonfiction, they had horror, they had thriller, they had any genre you could imagine.
A nice
But
broad
like the
like
cute
offering
little
set. Oh, that's cute. That is so cute. Oh, and I did a video too with it. It was like in this past February. Like, oh, well, will we be a good match? That kind of thing.
yeah, super, super cute. I think I ended up with 4 books from that. One of which I purchased because reading the thing on the front, I knew exactly what book it was. And I wanted to read it. I didn't already own it, but I really wanted to buy it so that I could be proved correct.
Yeah.
There's something that's just a satisfaction of saying, oh, I
I knew
guessed
it.
right. I knew it. Go me.
Were you right?
It was. It was
Okay.
how to lose the time war. Yeah, this is how you lose the time war. To guide my reading. Yep. Some parameters. Just some guidelines for my mood reading this month. Just finished, and every morning the way home gets longer. Oh, I've heard this is a tearjerker. I've kind of avoided it because I've heard it was such a tearjerker. And trying to finish my best friend's exorcism. I feel like Grady Hendrix has come up every single reading sprint of the Tarot Readathon. I'm just going to point that out.
I want to know how Maddie feels about that book. I'm sure she'll talk about it in one of her wrap-up videos.
Are you enjoying it so far, Maddie? How far in
in.
are you? Okay. See, I'd have to do that too. Yeah. Having just some guidelines, but not set in stone. Otherwise, I wouldn't get it done. Yes, Haley, she's knocking them out. She's listening to them on 3 times speed and just decimating us all.
Holding it down for the cups.
Almost halfway of the halfway mark of 2023. Yeah. Yeah, my birthday, I like growing up, I always thought of my birthday as the halfway mark of the year because my birthday was equal distance between Christmases.
Yeah.
Because Christmas is December 25th and I'm June 25th. So it's like a midway point between Christmases. That's what child brain thinks, right?
I love it.
Hey, Jean. Oh, reading the classic literature book of the month. How are you enjoying it, Jean? I feel like I missed that most of the sprints this time, but nobody was fully sold on it, it felt like. Hey, Joanna. What are you reading, girl? Just a hello? Summer of 69 by Ellen Hildebrand, and that's going to get that song stuck in my head. How are you doing, Caitlin? It's to read a book about a character moving on from something or going on a new adventure. 8 of Cups.
Yeah.
Go Team Cups.
Woo woo.
Hey, Michaela. 40 audiobooks checked out, Jill. You do have a world of possibilities.
So many.
How long do you get to keep these checked out? Do you have to listen to all of these in 3 weeks? What's the situation here, Jill? Haley's watching season 4 of Never Have I Ever. Really into teenage high school drama right now, or romance right now. Well, yeah, you're not far from that high school butterflies zone. Same question. Joanne also wants to know how you're liking Sinners Anonymous. Hey, Quinn.
Hello, hello.
75% of the way through. The book has so much personality. I think it might be my favorite Hendrix so far. But the last 2 I read for him were flops. Okay, now I'm curious which ones you thought were flops, because I feel like everybody has vastly different opinions about every Grady Hendrix book.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like there's some folks in the chat saying right now that they really loved Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and that one I found so much like I enjoyed it. It was kind of like, you know, really great storytelling and characters, but like it's the commentary. I found a lot of like problematic things in it, but it's pretty well liked, and I think it's also kind of divisive a little bit, that book.
Yeah, interesting. So we got a lover of Best Friend's Exorcism who wants to read Southern Guide.
You're amazing, Deja.
Yeah, we're just in awe of your skills and talent, really. And Deja's favorite was Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. That's a long title.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like all of his books are divisive. I feel like people are just one way or the other constantly. Trying to finish Addicted to You. Maddie has not read this one yet. What is that one? What that one are we talking about? Do you know? Do you remember? Maddie?
I don't
Bueller?
I think Southern Book Club Guide.
Oh, probably. That makes sense. That is the most logical answer.
Yeah.
Joanna's enjoying Sinners Anonymous. And Christine and Amanda. I could see Amanda really eating that one up. That seems her cup of tea, for sure. And I hope Christine's enjoying it. She's the one who picked it. Wants to read that one so badly. Just finished Never Have I Ever. I love when all of the like stars align and people are able to chat about books in the immediate.
Oh yes. Yes.
Yes, Maddie.
Uh-huh.
Also hard same. It gets me really irritated when I'm in the chat and I can't at people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they haven't fixed that. We can put
And
a man on the moon, but we can't add ats to the app.
We should be able to like click on people's actual like profiles and stuff. It'd be so much easier to like.
Like, I would like to find you.
Yes.
Jean's also enjoying Sinners Anonymous. Amanda already finished it. That makes sense. 4 library cards. I don't expect to finish them all. I've read 15 so far this month. Dang, Jill.
What team are you on?
Deja, she's coming for your gig.
I know.
4 library cards. Yeah, because I can't check out more than 20 books from my library. I hated How to Sell a Haunted House and Horror Store was disappointing. And those are the only 2 I have.
I'm kind of with Maddie on this one. Yeah, I did like the grief because I love grief horror movies and books, but it was just too long, I think, Haunted House. But Horror Store is like, it's like a 3-star to me. I just didn't really care for the ending, and I feel like there was not a lot of like character development. Oh, yay, Jill's in Team Cups. I'm so happy.
Yeah, those were the only 2 synopsises that really stood out to me as something that drew me in. So that was just kind of where I thought I would start.
They're very beloved books, though, like Haunted House, but that one is really, there's a minority of people who don't care for it. So I think it's in your favor.
Yeah, I do know this, Sarah. Sarah hates Grady Hendrix. Michaela wants to get further into The Brutal Prince tonight. Oh, yep, the vampire one. I absolutely in love with the series. Still on book 1. This is about the Sinners Anonymous. 6 library cards, Joanna. How do you keep track? I just have 1, and I struggle to read all of the things I check out there. I think we can check out 100 books at your library, but only 10 audio. Wow.
That's
Your libraries
amazing.
are generous. Yeah. Cups. Everybody's hating on Sarah's opinion. She's allowed to have her own opinion on Grady Hendrix. I mean, bully for you guys. I'm doing it wrong, apparently. But I also tend to prefer physical books, and I don't like checking physical books out of the library. I've just worked in too many settings that are similar, and people are gross. So shared books disgust me a little bit.
Oh my gosh, I don't even think about that. I probably should think about that a little bit more, but I haven't died yet.
Just finished The Maidens, which was a 2-star, starting the Space Between Worlds tonight. I enjoyed Space Between Worlds. It was interesting. It's a like alternate dimension book. Another Team Cups. Oh, Addicted to You. Sorry, I got you all confused, Joanna. That's my bad. Addicted to You, you're enjoying. Multiple random library accounts to be able to check out audiobooks that your library doesn't have. I mean, fair. I've definitely helped people get library cards for my library because most of the popular books don't have wait times at my library for whatever reason. So if you're struggling, hit me up. I've heard The Maidens was not a hit from most people I know who read The Maidens. But I think we're going to go into a sprint because right before we got started, my dinner arrived. So I would like to eat it. So what are we thinking time-wise?
I like 45. We could do an hour. We can do 30. I know I just told you literally every option, but.
Let's do 45. Do I know how to fix this?
Are you able to share?
Oh, yep. I'm adjusting the timer.
Okay, cool.
Before I share, and massive thanks to Lauren who talked me through how to get this whole thing set up, and was so gracious to be here with me so that I didn't screw anything up.
Fun, I love it. I know.
So do I share a screen?
Yeah, you do percent, and then it'll just be that tab that you'll choose, like which one will pop up. People are so funny in the comments right now. They're like dragging Grady. It's so funny.
Attacking Grady.
Valid.
Okay. Also a Grady hater. I mean, we do have enough average white men in this world.
And that was my issue. Like, I don't know, just a question, right? Was he the right person to write the Southern Book Club Guide to Slaying Vampires? That's a big question for me as I was reading that. And one could argue yes, one could argue no. I don't know. If anybody has any thoughts on that, I'd love to chat in my DMs, but maybe not now.
Not at the moment.
Yeah, I gotta read.
Girls, San Antonio. Do you need a library card? We'll hook you up. Maine's was okay. Everybody's just laughing at the Grady hate. 6 library cards. Wow, I'm way behind, guys. Thank you, Maddie. You're very kind. Cult classic. Okay, on that note, we are going to switch over to this guy, and we will see you in 45 minutes. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hopefully I was not scary coming back from that. I feel like I always get a jump scare at the end of a sprint sometimes.
Yeah, almost unavoidable.
Right? So what'd you end up reading?
Okay. I decided to, because I pulled a few cards and I
Oh, we
got
pulled
The
more
Hanged
cards?
Man. Yes, because I have some other books I just don't want to get to just yet.
I
And
love that mermaid.
yeah, it's like a mermaid skeleton thing. It's pretty cool.
So cool.
Very summary. So then that one is, I have the little, oh, I thought I had it up. It is about, oh yeah. So there's some mixed media in this short story collection. So I'm like, okay, it's in there, it's sprinkled throughout. And I read
Yeah.
one story and I really loved it. I thought it was really sweet.
Nice.
Yes. And it's YA, it's about vampires, and it's supposed to be like diversifying the vampire trope. And I liked its themes of like I don't know, like there's grief in this first story, and the experiences of women are centered, and it was really like sapphic. So I really enjoyed this. How did your spring go?
Fun. Super nice. So I ate my dinner. I had tacos.
Mm.
But I did start the last watch. And I thought it was really funny because I started this readathon with Leviathan Wakes,
Mhm.
and everybody in the comments was talking about how there was so much urination in the book, and somebody peed on the first page. Somebody peed on the first page. This one, somebody's getting an internal cavity search on the first page. So we're just starting off these sci-fis with a bang, but I'm already intrigued.
That's
Body
your
cavity
June
search and all.
theme. That's so
Uh,
funny.
but I've read this author's newest book, which is a standalone, and I felt she wrote in a really cinematic way, like you could really easily visualize the world she was building. So I'm excited to read more from her. I
That's
didn't read much though.
key.
I think I got to 22 pages.
Oh yeah, that's pretty. That's par for the course for me in this like timed sprint. That's key. If I can't like visualize the world, that's like really important
Yeah.
in a
And it
book.
can be really hit or miss with, I think, both fantasy and sci-fi if you're building out worlds that are so foreign from the reality that we have. But
Hmm.
she, like, it felt like you were watching a movie reading her book. The first one I read by her.
Oh wow, amazing writing.
So yeah, it was called Rubicon.
Mm.
Was her newest one. Okay. So Swamp Gas. Hello. We had a problem with the timer, but I think I fixed it. Sorry about that, guys. Vanessa made it to 51% of her book, but she's left us to go to bed. I know you're not here anymore, but bye, friend. She had a road trip today, so I'm sure she's wiped. And Nikki popped on, reading Yellowface and snuggling her sweet little baby boy. She just had a baby like a week or two ago.
Mm.
Yeah. So congrats to Nikki. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hello, Meek the Ghost. Hope you're doing well. Got to 93%.
So close.
That's so close. I probably would have just muted us and done the reading.
Push through. Yeah, Brother Lemon is ridiculous because there it's called My Best Friend's Exorcism. So you need an exorcist in that kind of story. That's
Uh-huh.
Brother Lemon, and he's a character. He's he's trying his best. He's doing his best.
But I feel like to be an exorcist, you might need to be a little bit of a character. I think it might be part of the territory.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's like inheriting the family business and not necessarily living up to expectations. But I'll keep it at that.
The family business of exorcisms?
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, because I guess my brain is definitely like latched onto The Exorcist as the
Mm,
exorcism vein, and that was a Catholic priest. So I guess I always think of exorcisms
yes.
as Catholic,
Yeah, I
which would
think they
negate a family
are.
business.
Yeah, I think it's more like his family is a part of like this church, And he has like how he meets the main characters of the book is there's like because the girls go to like a Catholic school or a Christian, I think it's a Catholic
Mm.
school, and they come to like entertain them. This is like in the 80s, and it's like bodybuilding, and they're wearing their little like outfits, the little suits and stuff, and then but it's like all Catholic, like through bodybuilding, pep, but like Catholic Christian tones. Like it's silly because it's
Uh,
like a Grady Hendrix book.
um, I will tell you, having grown up in an evangelical community in the 80s and 90s.
Mm.
Let me see if this is what it is. We had exactly that. Yes, hold on. I'm going to share this.
Yeah, I think you would really be intrigued by that book. Grady Hendrix grew up in the South, which is where this book is placed, if I remember. I think he talks a lot about his own lived experiences. So I'm not surprised that there's some real legit stuff. What is this?
Yeah, this is the power team. They came to my summer camp every year. They would come and rip apart phone books and bend pots and pans and tell you
Okay, that
anything
is
through
exactly
Jesus.
what's in the book. That's exactly what's in the book. He had
This
to
was
have
a real
like
thing. I saw them every summer, every single summer.
Yeah, Maddie's saying this is it. This is exactly what he has in the book. That is so funny. I think you might find this. I mean, I don't know. It depends on like your experiences with the religious themes in horror, but that's
I'm
so wild. Thank you
deconstructed.
for
I'm fine.
sharing that. Thank
So
you for
yeah,
sharing
please
that.
know that that was a very real thing he pulled from.
I'm shocked. I'm so shocked.
Yeah, if you look up the power team, they're still touring.
So wild.
Just a bunch of steroided men ripping up phone books for Jesus.
Thank you for sharing that. That is so funny.
Here to make sure everybody has a strange life experience.
Thank you. Thank
Finished
you.
Winter Wolf and started Even Tree Nymphs Get the Blues by Molly Harper for the quick read prompt. So I'm guessing that's a novella, but that's a great title. Even Tree Nymphs Get the Blues.
It sounds a little funny. Like there'd be like humor in that story.
Yeah, I like it. What kind of genre is that, Kay?
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Definitely finish in the next sprint before going to sleep. Yes, it's real. It's very, very real. And now you all know it too. I
And we're
remember
all the
one
better
time
for it.
they were at this like big concert um at the TBN station in Dallas, which was a Christian broadcasting station, and they had the power team performing baptisms for some reason. I just remember seeing it and thinking that makes no sense.
Just like dunking people.
Yeah, just dunking people at a concert.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very real.
Yeah, I guess like that's the whole point is to like proselytize.
Yeah, but the thing was is they were coming to Christian summer camps and going to churches. They weren't going anywhere where there were non-Christians. They were just
Oh, yeah. Makes sense. The
they were
hype
just
team.
yeah. It was a very, very like 80s and early 90s specific thing, I feel
So
like.
funny.
Uh yeah. I'm glad to be of service.
Thank you for your service. Yes.
It's listed as a contemporary romance. Oh, interesting. The Tree Nymphs.
I kind of got that vibe from it. I feel like there might be like I don't know, romances are typically kind of light unless they're like a dark romance. I could see that.
Yeah, see, I thought I was getting like a little fantasy romance because of the nymph piece. The contemporary is surprising to me. Yes, Joseph, they're still around.
Still kicking.
I only found this out because a friend and colleague of mine and I were like reminiscing about the weird things from our evangelical childhoods that were like, wait, did that really happen? Do you have a memory of this? Because I have a memory of this. And we Googled the power team, and that's when I found out they were still touring.
Oh, okay. So it was like just like a random tangent. And then you're like, hey, wait, do they still exist? Kind of thing. That's cool. And
Like,
you
let me
Googled
see
it.
if there's proof that they ever existed,
Mhm.
because it feels
Yeah,
like a fever dream.
I could imagine.
Like I could see why reading that book you would think that it was completely fake. Yep, they would break the shackles of Satan. Oh my gosh. Yeah, good choice. Good choice. I think the summer camp market was really strong for them because there weren't adults around to sit there and go, that seems weird. It was just a bunch of children hopped up on sugar, real hype to watch somebody break boards.
Oh,
And
absolutely. That's the market.
yeah. A lot of teenage boys thinking that was the coolest thing they ever saw. And the early 90s were also very weird.
The book also touches on the 80s satanic panic.
Oh yeah.
That shows up at the root of like the plot point.
It was wild. Because the impacts of the satanic panic, especially in evangelical circles, swept pretty far into the 90s. Just strange times. There's actually a YouTuber that I've really enjoyed over the years. She's not a Christian. She did not grow up in a Christian environment, but she's always been fascinated by fundamentalists and evangelicals. And so she does these little mini documentaries almost from an anthropological point of view. Somebody's coming in from the outside. And one Halloween she did a week where she covered the Satanist movement, the satanic panic, and some other elements and what was happening there in that 80s and 90s shift period. Really fascinating. If you're ever interested, it's Fundy Fridays.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'll check that out.
I have the power to rip this phone book in half, just like you have the power of the Holy Ghost. Actually true. This is what they would say. This was their whole pitch. They're talking about My Best Friend's Exorcism, Joseph, by Grady Hendrix.
Yes.
The nostalgia for the 80s and 90s is strong. I like that. It's my vibe. I'm in peak childhood nostalgia mode. I'm glad I wasn't an adult during the satanic panic. You feel like you would actually get caught up in the panic. Yeah. It took people who you would not think would fall for it completely by storm.
Yeah, the one I have in my head is about the daycare with like a lot of the forceful suggestions of the young toddlers and kids that then resulted in accusations that actually are unfounded, but then the context of the satanic panic really blowing things up and ruining people's lives without little to no evidence.
Yep. And every crime, cops were trying to link it to Satanism or devil worship. It was weird.
Mm-hmm.
We used to listen to Bob Larson on the radio at work, some kind of crazy AM radio exorcism.
Whoa.
Wow.
So he would just so he had like his own rate. That's like a broad audience. That's like really mainstream.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look for him. Joseph, did you ever encounter in the 80s and 90s a gentleman named Peter Popoff? I'm curious if you have, because I think if anybody would, it might be you. If you want a book about the satanic panic, read Whispers Down the Lane.
I've heard of that, but I didn't know it was about that. So I'm gonna make sure
adding it to my list.
Yes.
Whispers Down the Lane.
Yeah, my library has it. Yay! It's by Clay McLeod Chapman. I read Ghost Eaters and really loved it. So I think I'd like this one. I gave that book 5 stars. So
nice. I joined late and stepped into the Wrestlers for Jesus from the 80s.
Hello, Hannah. Welcome.
Hi, Hannah. I'm so sorry that is how you joined this, but also kind of not, because I feel like it's on brand for me. Finished Yellowface this morning. I'm hearing really good things about Yellowface. I'm getting really bad FOMO. halfway through Lost in the Moment and Found. Oh, Wayward Children. People love this series. Is that the newest one? The one that just came out? Oh, also another plus for Whispers Down the Lane. Think I'm gonna have to add this in sooner rather than later. Bringing back some interesting memories from your childhood. I had to DNF a few books that hit a little too close to home. Yeah, I've been there for sure. Oh, how are they going, Jean? I'm planning on watching later. I'm recording it. I just really want Shucked to win everything. I'm hearing really great things about Shucked.
What's that about?
Shucked is about corn.
It's a
brand
play
new
about
musical.
corn?
Yeah, people who work in like crop in corn as business.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yes, Peter Popoff. I knew you would know him. So Peter Popoff was a televangelist out of the Midwest, and he would sell like not holy water, but like miracle water. And he would sell you this water that would cure everything. It
Okay,
would
not
improve
leading
your credit
with
score. It would, yeah, like, and he went to jail, I think. He got busted.
for
But
like
yeah, Peter Popoff was a
accusations.
special. Hmm?
Like, what was like the reasons for him getting busted for like making
I think it
unfounded
was like money
claims?
laundering.
Oh, it's always that. It's always like not
Yeah, it
paying
was either money
taxes,
laundering or like whatever
embezzlement,
that
something.
one with the postage wire fraud.
Ugh.
I also went to college with a lot of televangelists, like children or grandchildren. It's like weirdly the televangelist thing was a hilarious continuity thing in most of my life.
So
Hello,
interesting.
Quinn. Love and Other Disasters. Super fun. Oh, phone call sad? Was it a sad phone call or were you just sad to have to be on the phone? Inquiring minds want to know.
Yes, read it. It's so good.
Oh, is that the one by Clay as well?
Yeah, yeah. Sensitivity warnings for like grief, death, addiction.
Yep. He also was like, it was like a psychic thing where he would call on somebody and be like, I know that you haven't walked in 10 years or whatever. And like would fake healings on his broadcasts. And a like famous debunker debunked him on national television.
I'm sure he took
Oh,
that well.
Peter Popoff. Joseph, I understand, and thankfully I did not participate in those, but I was directly impacted by those. Still, because I went to Oral Roberts University, and he was one of those Pentecostal tent preachers. So the legacy lives on. I'm normal though. Normal now. I got a really good scholarship to study under a professor that I was obsessed with, so that's why I did that. The newest, okay. Yeah, I knew some friends who were waiting for that newest one to come out. Saw you sent this message already. It didn't read because I was making some food and watching YouTube, but listened to 2%. What are you reading again, Deja? Do you remember?
No, I don't know if I read it. That or she maybe I don't know. Deja, remind us.
Tell us. Yep, it's a musical about corn.
I love it.
Called Shucked. It looks amazing. The music sounds really good. I just also desperately do not want Camelot to win Best Revival because I hate that show so much. Just hate it. I hate the script. I hate it. I was gonna say that I own Whispers Down the Lane and really want to eat it. I think read it. Also own Ghost Eaters.
Best typo
Published me
ever.
both. Yeah, really. Best typo. Ooh, look at you fancy with the publisher sending it to you.
Ooh, I love that.
Tent Revival Miracle Crusaders by Earl Roberts and Catherine Coleman. That's really old school. Yep. Yep. Oral Roberts is famous for after he built the school, it was never out of debt, but he got onto a televised fundraiser and told everybody that if he didn't raise $1 million by the end of the hour, God was going to call him home. Like, I will die if you don't give us money.
Okay, really scraping the bottom of the barrel.
You're just getting all kinds of insights into my upbringing that I don't think anybody was prepared for. I am so
I feel
sorry,
like I know
guys.
you so much better now, Elizabeth.
I'm normal, I swear. But I will say, in the like vein of deconstruction and all the weird things that was the evangelical movement in its history, a book that I've been obsessed with and I treated it like a diary is called Jesus and John Wayne. It's Jesus and John Wayne, how white evangelicals corrupted a faith and fractured a nation. And it's the history of the evangelical movement from the early teens through the election of Donald Trump.
You
And
are talking
why
my language.
that actually makes more sense than the talking heads at the time made it seem. And there were things in there that, like, I, even through all of my deconstruction and trying to sort through all of the things of my upbringing, there were still blind spots that I had that got brought up in this book of like, holy crap, I didn't realize that that wasn't normal. Like, this part of my childhood wasn't normal. But amazing. It's written by a woman who was a professor at an evangelical college. So it's somebody who's been in that system and not just an outsider, which I think makes it a little bit more tactful. Understandable. I also hate getting stuck on the phone.
Yes.
Hey, Shelby. Yep. Yep. When I was there were some scandalous young folks who paid a screen printer to make t-shirts, and it had Oral and his wife Evelyn in a heart. It looked like an old vintage like travel t-shirt, but it just said Oral is for lovers.
Wait, did they do
Like
this
Virginia is for
ironically?
lovers. Huh?
Yeah. Did they do this ironically or to like honor
Yeah,
them?
they sold it. Like,
But
it
like
was like the
ironically?
contraband on campus is if you had one of these shirts and you could like sneak and wear it off campus.
So they were making fun of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was like, that's funny.
Yeah. Like, if you got caught with it, you got fined. If you had one in your possession, you got fined massively.
Rebels.
I was also, yeah. Have a good night, Joseph. Thanks for taking me down Peter Popoff land and the power team. That was fun. We have a brickyard preacher at my school. Since it's a public university, anybody can come to our campus. Oh, 40 years on the same campus. Interesting. You don't have the like blowjob margarita woman though. Has she come to your school, Deja? Because I know she goes to a lot of schools. I can't remember her name, but she's trending right now because of the if you give her one margarita, she will spread her legs. She's a circuit preacher at colleges, basically. But the college kids like kind of embrace her in a weird way and like very much get her going down a weird tangent and film her and put her on YouTube. Yeah, and I don't think she sees that she's the butt of the joke.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, Black
Oh,
Top.
yes. Yes.
It gets me too, girl. Gets me
Same.
too. But that was a great typo. I liked that one. Razorblade Tears. Oh, Blacktop Wasteland's better, you say. I know everybody loved Razorblade Tears. I was hoping this was going to be a book of the month selection when it came out. I didn't know it was going to be about the Satanic Panic. Oh, so this is a new one. This Satanic Panic book that we've been talking about.
Under the Whispering Door?
No. Whisper Down the Lane. No, it came out in 2021.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was saying I said a TJ Klune book. I don't know why. Yeah,
Like, that's not
Whisper
about the
Down the
Satanic Panic.
Lane. There you go. Yeah, very
Yours
new,
came out
very
in
new.
2021. What are we talking about, Joanna? What came out this year that we wanted it to be a book of the month? Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry, Gene. His son was also an absolute skis bag. Gross people. Watch the documentary Marjo, filmed in 1971, goes behind the scenes of the tent revival circuit. Oh, that would be really fascinating, actually. I will have to look into that. Are you not liking Sinners Anonymous? Headed out for the night. Thanks for joining us, Maddie. Appreciate ya. Grows applying the Oral Roberts principles of seed faith. My mom fell for it too. Yep, sadly. The Sister Cindy, the margarita woman. Yep. She makes her rounds, Sister Cindy. Yeah. Like, college students have embraced this absolute hate-filled weirdo. So strange. College students. Now is not the time to panic. Oh, well, yeah. It looks like I'm going on a journey.
There's your next reading blog. No, that's a lot.
Satanic Panic reading journey. That would be, I'm writing this one down too. Now is not the time to panic. Oh, this is the same person who wrote Nothing to See Here, which is the one that has the like little girl, like the child with their pants on fire. There it goes.
I don't think I've seen that.
I see this cover everywhere. I've not read it. Whoa. That one. Okay. Okay, guys. How did we feel about that 45 minutes? Do we want another 45?
That worked for me.
Oh my gosh. The Exorcist has a YouTube channel.
Of course, in 2023.
And he's still doing his thing. He's still being an exorcist on the YouTubes now. Oh my goodness. On the YouTubes.
Perfect platform.
You know, there's all kinds of folks here on the YouTubes. Okay, guys, we're going to go for another 45 minutes, and we will see you on the other side. Hello, hello, hello. How was your sprint, friend?
It was really good. I got through another story. This one was about a boy who had to kind of do some things to become a vampire that were like kind of big choices and stuff. So I'm really liking this selection of books. It's really cool. I like it. It's this short story that I just read reminds me of The Lost Boys a little bit, like
Oh,
the movie,
interesting.
like a smidge, which is great. So I love that movie. How was yours?
Going back to the 80s.
Yes.
We're living in the 80s today. It was good. I've gotten 45-ish pages read that sprint. I did laugh because one of the blurbs on the back of this said, "Stunning. I was hooked from the opening lines." And I would like to read you the opening lines that hooked this gentleman.
Please do.
Spread your legs and bend over. Cavalon's face flushed. Actually flushed. Embarrassed Calvalon was a feat few could boast. He was a little impressed. He looked over his shoulder to grin at the guard, but a jolt of electricity shot through the nerves of his legs. "Spread 'em, soldier."
Is this a smut book?
No, but he was hooked from the first lines.
I would be too.
Not smut. It's
But
actually
scandalous.
interesting because basically we're following the first character who's spreading them. Has been shipped off to a ship at the edge of the universe at a place called the Divide, where there is nothing. It's his punishment. And we're learning about a war that happened with another species that people believed came from the other side of the Divide, all sorts of stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I could see why you'd need some really good, solid world building in that kind of story.
Yeah, and apparently a body cavity search. Really gripping stuff.
Spread 'em, soldier.
Spread 'em, soldier. Gripped from the first lines. Maybe he read a different draft.
So funny.
Maybe. Well, who knows? Oh, goodness. Yeah, I'm actually really tempted to do this Satanic Panic.
Especially with your
club.
background, like you'd have so much like to offer in terms of like the context and the lived
It would
experiences.
certainly be interesting, to say the least. Yeah, I definitely think I'm going to do that. So stay tuned, Joanna. It'll happen. But not until July. I listened to more of Even Trinives Can Get the Blues. It's not bad. The dialogue's kind of funny, which is kind of what we were getting, right? A little humor. But they switched narrators, so that's a bit weird. Yeah, that can be jarring.
Oh, yeah. Usually I've only read audiobooks where they switch narrators when you have a different POV.
Yeah. Are they just switching willy-nilly, Kay, or is there a reason? Did somebody quit halfway through recording this audiobook?
I'm done with this.
I can't take it. I don't have the budget to replace all the lines you've already recorded. 31 pages left, Joanna. You're killing it.
Close, so close.
Didn't read a thing, but I planned my week out. Hey, that's still really great things on a Sunday night. Did you say this is a collection of short stories?
Yes, it's called Vampires Never Get Old, Tales with a Fresh Bite. And there's like some people you would probably know, like V.E. Schwab has a story in here, Samira Ahmed, Rebecca Roanhorse. So it's like, it's YA short stories that like are pretty, they're like 10 to 20 pages, they range. And its whole goal is to like retell and reimagine the vampire trope through more diverse and inclusive lenses. So it's like normalizing diversity of basically every aspect of identity. So I'm loving it. I'm only 2 stories in.
Love it. Yeah, you're selling me on this. It was already kind of on my radar, but you're getting me excited.
I just picked it up at a used bookstore this past weekend, so it kind of found me.
Fun. It was meant to be. I love it when those things happen.
Destiny.
I had that. So I'm a fiber artist. I make my own yarn. I weave like knit, all of those things. And I was at an airport that still had an airport bookstore, which is a favorite place of mine from growing up with family great distances away. The like airport bookstore was top tier bookstore experiences for me as a child. And I looked into this unicorn of a bookstore, and the sci-fi section was facing out, and there was a book there titled Wool. And I didn't even read the back of it. I just said, this was meant for me. You're coming home with me.
Mhm.
And I read it. It was like a 600-page book. I read it in 2 days.
So then it was good. It was good
It was
then.
good. It was good. And actually, it's just been adapted to a TV show that's airing on Apple TV right now.
Are you gonna watch it? Or do you have
Yes,
access
I'm
to
waiting
Apple
for it to
TV?
all be done though.
Oh,
I think they're
gotcha.
calling it Silo because the series is called the Silo series. Yes, Silo. Silo on Apple TV. It was written by Hugh Howey. Some
Okay.
dystopian sci-fi. Oh, it was a different point of view. You just weren't expecting it. Yeah, especially if you're not expecting it, if you've gotten all settled in with a narrator and suddenly it changes.
Yeah, I don't know. Different POVs, like it can work. I think what's the hard part is like if they're not super distinctive in terms of like their personalities, or it feels like a lot of like backtracking in the plot, in the external plot and development.
Yeah.
Like I need it to be the plot moving forward, and you take us just through different. Like I don't want to have to like rehash the same thing through a different person's perspective.
Yeah.
To me, that is tedious.
Yeah. That makes me think you will like the Her Majesty's Royal Coven even more. Because again, they're all very distinctive, but it's one audio time and she does great accents. Like
Cool,
it's very
cool.
immersive. It's also an adult fantasy. It's not YA. It looks like it should be YA from that cover, but
Hmm.
it's not. It's not. They're grown as adults.
It
They're
does give
preteen.
YA though.
It does give mass. I almost wasn't into it, except that they're women and mothers for the most part. So cool. I think my son may like that. He's looking for new book ideas. The vampire book, I think that would be a hit. Night, Jean. Hope you have a good one. Yes, science fiction book. It is called Wool. Then it's Shift and Dust, or Dust and Shift. There's 3 books. They were actually indie published. Wool was a set of like 5 novellas that were all indie published by Hugh Howey. He wrote them while he was working as a manager at a bookstore, and he'd write them before and after his shifts. And then
That's
Simon and Schuster picked
amazing.
it up. Yeah, Simon
That's
and Schuster picked it up, and
amazing.
he finished it with the publisher. Yeah, I
That's
like
so
his
cool.
story. I read Dowry of Blood. I have not. Have you read
I
Dowry of
have
Blood?
not, but I really, really, really want to. That and House of Hunger, they're both vampire stories, and they like are very much like they're horror, but like they are really, really fantasy. Like, yeah, they range because I think vampires can be horror or fantasy, or like kind of this middle land.
Yeah.
And I think it's more in the middle land, but like leaning a little more towards fantasy when it comes to like Dowry of Blood and House of
Interesting.
Hunger.
I've not heard a lot about House of Hunger, but I know people are obsessed with Dowry of Blood.
Yes, the cover, like I don't know which one it's the original one or the second one, whatever. When there's like it just looks old and beautiful.
That's the original, I think.
It
That like
looks
feels like a vintage
gorgeous.
painting.
Yes, yeah, it's gorgeous.
It disappeared, but just had a Lunchable, and now I'm going to go to sleep.
I love
Thank you for
it.
the spritz. I respect the Lunchable. I mean, essentially, charcuterie boards are just Lunchables for grown-ups.
That is a fabulous pre-sleep snack.
Oh, excuse me. I'm very impressed that I hit the mute button just on time for that.
I'm very impressed too. Yes.
But yeah, that's a great snack.
This is so funny. A Lunchable. I haven't had a Lunchable in so long, like so long.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably at least in college.
Yeah, I always see them, and they do have more like adult ones where you have in the little plastic containers. It's like
Oh
a
yeah,
cheddar or like a Swiss, and then they'll give you like some like little pepperonis. It's basically I purchased those for
Yeah,
work
those are grown-up
snacks,
Lunchables.
they're basically, now that I realize it, I've been eating Lunchables for quite some time, yeah.
But they're
Mhm.
not Lunchables.
I know.
Lunchables are different. Lunchables
Yes.
involve, like, make your own pizzas
Which
and
doesn't
sad
sound like a bad
tacos.
idea. That sounds
No, except
great.
they were always terrible, though.
Yeah, I think it's like the Lunchables, they'd have, like, the cheese and crackers, it would be, like, with ham. Like, why do ham of all things?
Right? Well, and, like, the pizza, it's not really gonna be pizza, there's no way to melt the cheese.
There's just no way.
Having tomato, bread, and cheese.
Decadent.
I'm not sure what exactly is, except maybe Lunchables, but I appreciate the support, Joanna. Yeah, also much better meat and cheese.
Oh my gosh, yes. I do love a charcuterie board though. I like when I have like a lot of snacks and I just kind of do get them all out of the house because like I'll have like a little bit in this bag, a little bit in this container, and then I'll just have like a Sunday where I'm like, okay, we're gonna like have a pre-dinner like charcuterie board, and I'll set it up with like, okay, we have like 5 pickles left over, like we're gonna put pickles on the board, like that kind of thing. Anything but the kitchen sink. It's like my favorite little haphazard charcuterie board that's like super random, but I need to
Oh,
get
I
like the
love that.
snacks all eaten because they're just not enough to
Get them
like really enjoy,
out.
I guess. Yeah.
Last year I had a membership. There's a friend of mine who does charcuterie, but she did a membership program where once a month she would do a themed charcuterie. And like for summer it would be Pride Month, and she would highlight LGBTQIA plus food producers, like a lesbian owned cheese
Ooh.
company that was local, those sorts of things. Or like she'd do a beer pairing day and it would be pretzels and cheddars and mustards. But
Oh,
that
that
was
sounds
always my favorite.
amazing.
One day a month I would just have a charcuterie meal.
Oh, that is amazing. Oh my gosh. And I've never seen like a subscription like that. I know people that do them like around Valentine's Day. I'll see some like local Instagram accounts where they'll have like the cute like little like roses
Yep.
made of salami and like macaroons in there, but not like a subscription. That's actually brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, she did it once a month. She had some issues with her kitchen where she was at.
Mhm.
So as she's been moving, she shut it down for a little while. I'm really hoping she picks it back up because it was so much fun and I discovered so many local makers here in town that I never would have found otherwise. Like the lesbian owned cheese company, I've gone and done cheese making classes there. Like I've gone and like
Oh.
really enjoyed their space because it's 30 minutes outside of town. I never would have known it existed otherwise.
Mhm. Oh yeah, and I just imagining like all the planning that requires in advance to like look at a year of like what you're going to be providing through the subscriptions and then find those people, like that's a lot of work.
Yeah. And she does fun things for the holidays too. Like we did one day, like back in 2020, we did a backyard movie hangout for Halloween. So we could all spread out and still see each other at a distance and watch Hocus Pocus. But we ordered boards from her, little individual ones for each of us. So we didn't have to share food. And they were all on little coffins. We all had our own little
So
coffin of
cute.
charcuterie.
Was it like wooden? A wooden coffin?
Yeah, little wooden coffin of
Okay,
charcuterie, and that way
so cute.
everyone's was customized. So people who didn't like one thing didn't have it. It
I'm
was
gonna
so much
find it.
fun.
Wooden coffin plates. I'm gonna search those up.
Yeah, they were maybe
Oh,
like this big.
it's like a tray. Were they
Yeah,
trays or were they flat?
yeah. They were trays that had a little bit of a lip on them.
Okay. Cute. And they were black?
No, they were stained, but I think she probably stained them. Honestly, stained them and sealed them.
Okay, amazing. So cute. I love a good theme.
Cheese making was fun. I did the fresh cheese making class, so it was a 1 day one. So we made like all kinds of stuff. But I want to go back because they have this particular one has a blue cheese class, a Gouda class, and a cheddar class. I'm obsessed with blue cheese. I could eat it by the spoonful. It's a 2 day class, and you get to take home 2 whole wheels of cheese when you're done.
Whoa, that is okay. I'm quite a bit of a cheese lover myself, so that sounds like my dream.
Yeah, it's amazing, and they're such lovely folks. I've hung out with them a few times. I happened to randomly run into them at like a fancy dinner once and spent an evening with the owners, but they're just lovely folks. And the blue cheese they make is really, really good. So I would like to make it and bring it home and have it to eat like a little gremlin.
Like a little gremlin.
But it's like over 3 months. So you make your cheese, you wait until it's aged, and you come back for the uncaving of it. Because they have a cheese cave and
Oh.
everything. Yeah.
See, that's what I didn't realize. I thought it was just like a 1 day thing, but it's like a really long process. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yes.
The fresh cheese making is just one day. It's the other one that like you come back later
Mm. Okay, that's
when it's
cool. That's
ready.
cool.
When all
I didn't
when
think
all the
about that.
funky stuff is in there. It was so cute. I was really, really impressed. And she did delivery at that time, but her business grew too much so that she couldn't do that anymore. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I'm sure the demand was really high.
Yeah. You've never had blue cheese? Oh, it's delicious. It's definitely
It's
funkier, but it's
distinctive.
delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's distinctive.
And if it seems a little intimidating to try on its own, there's definitely ways to pair it. So don't be scared though. Most people have at least encountered it in like a buffalo scenario.
Oh, how cute. I found like little cheese trays that are like ghost shaped and jack-o'-lantern shaped, and they're like from
Oh.
Walmart. I love Halloween, so it's my jam.
Yeah, well, here's your sign to get adorable Halloween trees for your Sunday charcuteries.
Oh, absolutely. Don't tempt me.
I dare you. It is smelly, but it's delicious.
I love that. It's smelly.
It is. It's very smelly. Oh. Yes, Joanna, blue cheese is delicious. But a lot of people don't like it. So if you don't enjoy it, it is what it is. Sorry, my mouse got weird. Yes, feta is also really good.
Feta is yummy. I like. Oh, what were you gonna say?
No, go for it.
I was gonna say I like blue cheese when like you have the blue cheese that's like the dressing, and then you have the crumbles on top, and it's like a salad that is like just like leafy green with like onion slices. Like that's it's like so one restaurant around here does like a really great house salad with the ranch, not ranch, but it's like ranch texture with the crumbles on top of blue cheese. And it's just like, oh, so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Blue cheese is top tier on a salad. I like it on a burger. A really funky blue cheese on a burger is nice.
Yum.
I usually hear about people having it with wings. Yep. The blue cheese dressing is what people usually have it with wings. It just has a little bit of a funkier taste. A little bit earthier.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way of putting it.
Blue cheese and bacon. That sounds. You're making me hungry, swamp gas.
I know. I was just thinking that too. I'm like, I already had my dinner and my dessert.
I don't need a snack, but now I want one.
Spoonful of blue cheese.
Do I have blue cheese? No, I don't. Damn. I got excited for a second. I would do it. I have an overly sensitive nose, so I stay away from smelly things, except my boys and my dog. That's fair. I mean, there's an emotional attachment there at least.
I love that.
Do I hear a puppy moving around in your world?
Oh no, that's me. Oh, actually, it probably is. I have like little rain sounds going on when
Oh,
I
I just
read.
heard a little like occasional clicky noise, and it sounded like dog nails on
Yeah, or
tile.
it was me scratching myself, I think.
I'm surprised you haven't heard my cat snoring. So, because she's been just chainsawing over here beside me the whole night.
So cute. Chainsaw. Small cat.
Yeah.
Big noises.
Yeah. No, she's also a big cat.
What's her name?
She is Lilu Dallas Multipass. She goes by Lilu.
Yeah, that's a name. That's a mouthful of a name.
It's from a movie.
Which movie?
Fifth Element.
I'm not familiar.
It is a cult classic starring Mila Jovovich and Bruce Willis. All of the costumes were done by Jean-Paul Gaultier. It's worth a
Intriguing.
watch.
Is it science fiction?
Yes.
Oh, science fiction action film. You love yourself some science fiction.
Do.
Is that
I'm a
like your
sci-fi
wheelhouse?
girly.
Yeah, it's like your wheelhouse. I'm noticing.
I grew up on a lot of sci-fi.
Check it out.
You're just having the time of your life right here, Lulu. What are you doing?
Hamming it up. Oh, in the
She's real
colorful.
pretty. Hmm?
Oh, in the colorful future, a cab driver unwittingly becomes a central figure in the search for a legendary cosmic weapon to keep evil and Dr. Zorg at bay.
Yep. The villain of that movie is Gary Oldman. And Chris Tucker plays a very iconic role in that film. That was almost played by
Intriguing.
Prince.
Oh.
Yeah, Fifth Element is one of my favorites. It's just a weird, wonderful film. Probably my favorite thing Luc Besson ever did. The costumes are great. Yep. Oh, the opera scene's amazing. I have seen singers try to replicate it because it's not a natural singing. It's very much computer assisted. But even when they attempt it, it's still beautiful. Yes, the Jean-Paul Gaultier costuming is out of this world for this movie.
Sounds gorgeous. Look at some scenes. Oh my god, that orange hair.
Yep.
Very 1997.
I think this was one of her first like screen roles. If I
Yeah, she
remember
looks
correctly.
super young. Oh my gosh, Chris Tucker.
He was everything.
Okay, so there's this article that says Prince passed on the Fifth Element because he didn't like the costumes.
No, and the costumes were amazing, especially Chris Tucker's.
Yeah, he has a blonde do, and then like I see in this picture like a cheetah ensemble.
Yes, with the big collar.
Yes, very big collar.
He plays a radio DJ, essentially, like with a really extravagant personality,
Oh, this
who
seems
also gets
fun. This
wrapped
seems
up
like a
in this like
fun movie.
plot. Also, the guy who played Bilbo Baggins in Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
Really? Bilbo?
If you've got like 2 hours, I recommend it. It holds up, not just for science fiction people, but it's a good time.
Gotcha. I don't even think I've actually even come across it.
That's wild to me. But
Yeah.
I also remember when it was in theaters, so. But like one of the local movie theaters here where I live will show it every summer. They'll do a special screening of Fifth Element, and it sells out way before the show.
Then it must be very beloved.
I think that definitely has a following for sure. But yeah, apparently it was her big break. It's so good, so good. And even though the CGI was definitely 1997 CGI, the movie holds up pretty well.
Oh, that makes sense. In a sci-fi movie, you're gonna probably come across that. Yeah, CGI.
But like not that much CGI. Weirdly, there's not a lot. It's a lot of practical effect.
Good. That usually stands up longer.
Yeah, but the guy who directed it is the same one who directed Leon the Professional, which is the one more people have probably seen, with baby Natalie Portman.
Baby Natalie Portman. I've never seen this one before.
That one's one of his popular ones.
Oh yeah, I think I see this screen grab though of her.
Yeah. And then his more recent sci-fi was The Valerian with Cara Delevingne and Rihanna for some reason. It
Oh,
wasn't
fun.
wasn't great,
Oh,
but
not
it
fun.
was a film adaptation of a French comic book that he had grown up with and had been trying to make for a very long time. It just didn't do very well. Yeah, The Professional was good. I just prefer Bruce Willis and Mila Jovovich saving the universe.
It's a great setup there. Great partnership. Great duo.
Yeah. And weirdly, I just found out that one of the voices on the that he like takes a call from is Vin Diesel, like a baby Vin Diesel, uncredited.
How did you find that out?
It just went around the internet recently that Vin like copped to it.
I loved growing up and watching his like triple X movies. I really like those.
I haven't seen those in ages.
I
Oh my
know.
gosh.
I feel like they hold up too.
I'll have to rewatch those. I haven't seen them in a million years. I will say though, I've definitely not gotten on the Fast and Furious train.
No, no, no. Neither have
I
I.
have people in my life who are obsessed, but I just never could get on board.
Yeah. Nope. Not in my wheelhouse. Mm-mm.
Oh goodness. Okay. I got one more in me. How about you? Short. Like a
Yes.
30
Yes,
minute.
yes, yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. Last sprint, ladies and gents.
Let me find a
Then
short story.
we'll wrap it up.
That's the best part about short stories. You don't have to go in order.
Oh, Joanna's obsessed with Fast and Furious. I'm so sorry to break your heart on that one. The only one that I have ever seen is apparently the wrong one. Um, because the only one I've ever seen was Tokyo Drift.
But like you saw it out of order?
Yeah, I only saw the third one. I only saw number 3.
I love that. Just skip the sequel.
But it's also like not really tied in. Like none of the main
Oh, okay,
actors are
that's
in
fine.
it.
Yeah. That's all good.
So it is what it is. Okay. See you guys in a bit. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Wait, Joanna, your car was in one of the movies, like your car, or you got a car that was featured in the Fast and Furious movies?
We gotta know.
I'm curious. Okay, how was your sprint?
My sprint was really good. I had finished a story in here in the first 20
Ooh.
minutes. It was about this vampire slayer and encountering, she's in high school though, vampire slayer that encounters a vampire. And yeah, it's really good. I'm loving this short story collection so
I
much.
can tell you're having a good time.
It's just so like wholesome, and that's just what I love in, like, it's not even, I don't even know what this is. I guess fantasy. 'Cause it's not horror. I mean, there is some like dark stuff happening, but this is what I love. I guess it's more like spooky. I don't know. It's like spooky fantasy horror. It's hard to categorize. It's just like it's friendlier than like when you think of
Yeah,
horror, what mind, and
but
it's
it's so
lovely.
easy to put vampire in horror box.
Yes. Yeah, wholesome vampires. Yes, yeah. It's such a, I love it so, it
Sure.
gives me exactly what I need. I like just some wholesome Halloween reads. That's like the basic like thesis of my channel. I just love
Love it.
this because it's like it's what I need. It's what I need. It's wholesome vampires.
I love it. The book found you. The book
It
found
did,
you when you needed
yes.
it.
I know. I love that. It's destiny. It's not 600 pages and I won't read it in 2 days, but I do love it so much.
I don't know. I was on a business trip. I had nothing else to do.
Fantasy books can be so long, and it makes
I
sense for the
really can.
world building you gotta do.
And for some reason I can do sci-fi world building, but heavy fantasy world building, my mind just shuts down. I can't do it.
Gotcha.
It's very
Gotcha.
strange. Give me some
Gotcha.
tech and I can do it, but the
Yeah, that's your
like,
niche. That's your niche.
yeah. Again, I grew
How
up
was your
on it.
sprint?
It was good. I passed the 100-page mark. The
Woo!
major sort of, I think at least the major sort of problem is arisen, because it's basically they're at the edge of the universe, and the whole idea that the universe has been expanding over time. Well, they've noticed that the border of the universe is actually coming back in. And what does that mean for everyone? But more specifically for them, because they don't have the engines or tools that they need to get out of the way fast enough. And they've got like 200 people on board.
Okay, so the stakes are high. It feels high stakes.
For these guys, yeah, it's picking up. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure somebody that I met is already dead because he left the main ship to go do like a run, and they immediately wanted to call him back and they couldn't get a hold of him. And I'm like, oh, he's gone.
Goner. He's goner. Hope
He's
we didn't
gone,
care for their
or he's gonna
character.
show up in the 11th hour out of the
To save the
blue.
day,
And
obviously.
yeah, one or the other. That's my prediction.
Well, let me know how it ends up.
Well, it's good though. I really like her writing style. This was her debut, but it still
Mm,
feels as sort of fully articulated as her newest one did. So that's nice. It's always
talent.
nice. Okay. Got a little bit further, and the even tree nymphs get the blues. Listening out loud, hubby is laughing. So you're right. It did have a humor element to it.
Yes. I've only done that one time where like I had an audiobook. I don't know why. I had AirPods and headphones. Do you ever remember the TV show? It was a reality TV show, like one of the first, The Girls Next Door.
Yes.
I listened to the memoir of Holly Madison. I don't know why, but like I had it loud going when I was around my boyfriend for like hours, and he was like interested in it. We'd talk about it. It was just so random. And he was laughing too.
I bet that would be a good like co-listen. That would be a good
Yes.
like community listen.
Yeah.
She was a hoot.
Yes. Co-listen. I like that.
Not like my car, but the same model. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, wait, Joanna, why are you so fancy? I haven't been so invested in a book in a while, so I've been having a good time. What were you reading, Jacob? I don't think I remember.
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
Inquiring minds want to know, Jacob. Wholesome vampires.
Wholesome vampires. Yeah, mine is YA too. Sometimes the YA voice can seem a little juvenile to me. I've DNF'd quite a few books this past year where it's in first person and it just seems like it's just too much internal monologue, too much telling me rather than showing me. And that I'm like, nope, sorry. Great premise, but it's not for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I can feel that. I mean, I definitely find a struggle with YA voice sometimes. Sometimes not. I've actually found myself gravitating to more middle grade this year than I have in a very, very long time. But I think it's because there's something kind of cozy there, right? There's something
I
just kind
love
of
middle grade.
comforting and settle in without all the angst of a teen story.
Yes.
You are sharing with him, Kay. It's a team book. I like it.
Team effort.
Huzzah. Okay, well, we're through the comments. Anything that you want to plug or promote? Are you doing any more sprints this week? I know we're all churning away for the readathon. Oh, Jacob's book. Picture of Us in the Light.
Ooh, let's see what genre that is.
Interesting. Coming of age story with LGBTQ bent. Why is sometimes nice when you need a break for your brain. Yep. Yep.
Oh, it's a beautiful, like colorful, bright cover. It's a beautifully written book, is heartrending, but also wise and uplifting. One review.
Hmm.
Yeah, YA, yeah. It follows somebody who's like a high school senior. Yeah, that makes sense.
Jacob's just turning us on to all kinds of things tonight.
I know that's what I love about sprints so much. It's always about finding book recommendations and learning how people like things. It's just so awesome. So I plan on doing some sprints. I haven't like scheduled it out, but I'm on my summer break and my partner's out of town for like half the week. So I'll probably do stuff too online.
Yes. So I've linked Lauren in the description along with all the other co-hosts. Um, but I'm sure that you are already following them. But if not, please go give a follow and keep an eye out because Lauren will do some more sprints. I'll probably do some more sprints now that I've done it for the first time. And thanks everybody for joining us tonight. And thank you for reading with us.
Yay. Have a good
Bye
night or
guys.
day.